action, sipping yakking. There's no reruns, there's new shows, so what's happening? MMA Jeff got the bookies tapping. Mike M is the captain, the way we go. Subhuman like Gaucho, so now you know. Joe T got the recipe and we all cooking. Granny's wearing your sister's panties and we all looking. It's the Sports Betting Brothers, Sports Betting Brothers, Sports Betting Brothers, Sports Betting Brothers, Sports Betting Brothers. Super duper Sports Betting Brothers.
Go time! What up, and welcome into the special edition here. First Slice! That's right. We have no first strike because there's no UFC, but we'll play on the name and appreciate you guys joining us here. The game plan is to talk about these 3 Thanksgiving games. I've got none other than the specialist of the NFL live betting and everything else that goes into it here with MMA Jeff. Each every stride. Keith's here. We got Spenny Penny Bombs. He's known for dropping bombs all over the bookies. We got Jover in the house, and we got Sub. My name is Sub, here ready to join us as well. Look, we're going to focus on these NFL games for tomorrow. I want to give you guys that play, the props, the sides, the totals, everything you need to get that action in before Thanksgiving gets here. Because we know once the holidays start and the families get over, it's a lot more difficult to go to the books. But we also got some Euro League action out there. Sub's going to bless us with some sub club action here as it caps off. And we're going to live bet. We're here to do that as well. So we'll keep our eyes on everything that's going on. But a fun little Wednesday night. They say one of the biggest party nights of the year. So let's party. Let's have some fun, boys. Jeff, how you feeling?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. I'm doing good. Looking forward to talking about these games. Looking forward to the games tomorrow. I think it's gonna be an exciting day of football in Turkey. So I'm looking forward to it.
Turkey. Keith, how you feeling, my friend? You ready to go? You got a fresh haircut? Look at you.
Yeah, fresh cut here. Trying to keep it hot here as far as my bets too. So. As far as me, I came up with a lot of trends here. We were talking backstage a little bit, Mike, about that. And yeah, I came up, the weather could be a little bit of a factor in the last game, the night game tomorrow. But yeah, I love the football on Thanksgiving. So you got to eat all day, drink all day. So look forward to cashing with you guys.
Well, his name is Sub. My name is Sub. The remake taking the nation by storm. Sub, how you feeling today?
Oh, good, man. It feels like Friday already. It's been a hectic few days, so I'm glad I got tomorrow to kick back and yeah, man, I'm gonna be watching a lot of sports. I'm excited.
Gonna be a fun weekend, and we're just getting started. Jover, known for his assault on the unders. Matter of fact, he says, "Fuck your under." Jover, how you feeling?
Feeling good. Well, I'm feeling good. Busy, like Sub said. Fucking just running all week.
Look, you got a new haircut too. I missed the memo about the new haircuts here, but yeah. All right. I mean, look I get a new haircut every 2 days, boys. That's the way it goes when you get shiny on top. I know this guy's not shiny on top. He's ready to fire. We're privileged to have him join us here. NFL prop shop champion Spenny Penny Bombs is blessing us with his action tonight. How you feeling, Spenny?
Good to be here. And, I'm one of the few Canadians, probably maybe the only Canadian maybe on the stream here tonight. So, but the company that I work for is more American based. So I have an early weekend starting today. So I got the Thursday and the Friday off. So I'm just with you guys here as well. And I'm ready to rock and roll and watch football all day and do nothing all weekend pretty much.
That's exactly the game plan. And it sounds so great the way you say it. So I'm looking forward to this action, boys. Listen, here's the deal. Even if you're not catching us live and you're on the replay, very much going to break down each of these 3 NFL games tomorrow. Plus, and of course, we'll live bet when we get into it. So without further ado, fellas, let's jump in. Let's talk about this first game. And I talked a little bit behind the stage or backstage here. Look, we'll read off some of the higher level details, and then we'll drill in and talk to each of these fellas about how they want to get paid with these games. We've got 3 of them, a little different timetable. You guys know the deal. There's 2 staples. It's the Lions and the Cowboys that play every Thanksgiving. A couple years back, they added that Thursday night special, which this week is going to be that Dolphins and Packers. So that one's going to be outdoors. Of course, we've got indoor activity. We'll talk about the splits. We'll talk about injury factors. We'll talk about some recent performances. And then we'll talk about how we're getting to cash from each of the panelists here tonight. And we might as well open it right up with the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams, he's rolling on the road and he's going into Detroit. The Dome ready to go, in a big swing in the line. -4.5 has moved to -9.5 for the Lions. 75% of the bets and 73% of the cash on them Lions. And we see a total. Despite the money coming in on the over, we've got 76% of the bets on the over. We've got 85% of the cash. And yet this number's dropped from 50. There's 48.5. It's all the way down to 47.5 in some of these books. And boy, the story here, I think, with the Bears is just a bunch of near misses in a competitive division. The Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions have seemed to be the class of this NFC North. And maybe that's due serve here. The Lions have been running. In fact, the Lions are 9-2, league best against the spread. League best against the spread in the first half as well. Hint, hint. 4-1 in their last 5 on a tear. Just took down the Indianapolis Colts 24-6. The Bears, on the other hand, rookie woes with Caleb Williams. Tough game against that Minnesota Vikings. I thought they might have it. +3. They take the 30-27 L. They did cover against Green Bay, so they are in a gauntlet within their division as far as scheduling is concerned. And it's kind of a mash unit on both sides of the ball here. The safety, Travarius Moore, is questionable for the Bears. Ryan Bates, the offensive lineman, is going to be out for the Bears. Then you look down the line, you see Montez Sweat, the defensive end, questionable. Still some questions on a couple of these guys, including, Kieran, another offensive lineman. So the question is, with offensive lineman issues, does that put Caleb Williams at a tremendous disadvantage or a slight disadvantage? And the Lions, despite a bunch of injuries, it seems to be predominantly in their secondary. Now, a question across the board. I mean, the question, Jamar Gibbs, David Montgomery, the 1-2 punch have been electric as they get this thing rolling here. I'll start it off and say this, boys. Jared Goff, Thursday performances. He is 0-3 on Turkey Day. Spenny, let's start with you, my friend. Talk to us. Break this one down here. Bears, Lions. What do you want to do? How do you want to get paid in this game? We're in a dome. There's no weather to worry about here. Does the home field really make that much of a difference? Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions.
No, I think we could see some fireworks in this game. I think we could definitely see some points in this game. I definitely can see, a pretty solid, output game. A lot of production on either side of the ball. Still kind of waiting to hear about Montgomery, if he's going to be in or not, because he's still questionable right now with the shoulder injury. I was, going to just take Gibbs, but I'd still rather just kind of wait to see, if Monty's going to be in, because Monty's going to have a good game against the Bears if he plays against the Bears. So, I'll wait to see if Monty comes back in here. I still think that regardless if it's just Gibbs or not, the Bears have been able to get beaten on the ground here. So Gibbs should still have a decent day if it's just him. But still, like a couple of spots here where I'm going to take some receivers, for some receiving props here today. The first one that I like is on the Bears side. Since the new offensive coordinator came in, he's been seeing an uptick in targets, seen 10 targets the last 2 weeks. So I like Rome Odunze, over 43.5 receiving yards, -110. I'm just going to take a shot on his 50+ receiving yards as well at +125, and also the touchdown at +375. Just been a pretty solid guy. The rookie's been good solid receiver there for Caleb. He looks to him quite a bit. The Detroit Lions have given up decent production in the secondary, so I like Odunze as the first kind of spot there. And I do like another spot on the other side as well. It's going to be Laporta for me for the Lions. Had a slow week last week, but I think he has a good week this week against the Bears. So I'm taking Laporta over 35.5 receiving yards. excuse me, minus 110. The 50 plus at plus 195, and also his touchdown at plus 240. Again, just a couple spots here with take a shot with one player, do 3 little spots, and see if we can double up or triple up with both of them there.
Like a little prop action to get us going. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. I see Redbeard, JW, Joe W's in the house. He says, guys getting fucked up behind the screen. Maybe we were. Flea Mathis is in the house, RVD 420. Shout out to Robert McCormick. Appreciate all you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. And shout out to 2 gifted sports money memberships. Subhuman Gaucho stretching in deep, gifting a sports money membership, helping us build this community. And there's Razor Sharp Picks gifting a sports money membership as well. So, boys, I'm going to pop the top here. It is a long weekend for all of us. I'm going to enjoy a celebratory toast to these gentlemen gifting sports money memberships.
I will join you once I go grab my bottle.
On a side note, I should be using these beautiful new glasses that Grandma's horse racing sent me.
Oh, nice.
Those are cool.
The problem is, let me see if I can put these on the big screen for you guys here. The problem is, as I get cocktailed, backwash becomes a real thing. And so I'm looking at floating soldiers in my Jack Daniels bottle, which is incredibly disgusting. So I'm going to muscle through it. I'm going to do what I do, which is muscle through this thing. But I did pick up a new bottle for this weekend. So appreciate you guys rocking. There's Mel's in the house as well. Redbeard, Bites for Life says, sup? What's up? Bites for Life. Shout out to Ramon Scott. Is this a pizza review show? Let's go. Appreciate all you guys. Oh, no. Razor Sharp's calling out Jeff already. Let's open up our action. That's what we want to do, you guys. We want to have some fun tonight. So, again, thank you guys all for popping in. Let's pop over to Jover. We'll kind of go in this counterclockwise direction here. Jover, Joe TJ. Is this
what up? Okay. Well, you know where I'm going in this game. Lions at home, averaging 37.6 points per game. The Bears on the road are averaging 17.6. And then when you look at the Lions defense at home, they're averaging about 17 points also. So I'm just going to go with the Lions they do way better at home. And I'm going to take the team total over 29.5.
Lions
in
team
case
total
the Bears.
over.
Yep, Lions team total just because they're at home and they like the scoreboard up at home.
Let's go. Keeping it short and sweet to the point.
Boring, but I think that's my favorite look on this game.
Boring cashes tickets as well. Subhuman Gaucho. I know you're a footy guy. The football for you is round and not oval in a pigskin, but any looks from you in this game here? Anything you're trying to use to cook the books?
Well, you know, it's a homer pick, but yeah, I do think that the Lions cover here. I think this is a time where they kind of break this negative streak that they've had around Thanksgiving. I know Razor was talking about it in the chat a minute ago too. You know, it was bad last year. They laid a big number and it didn't go their way. I think it's a good spot though. Oh, the trend for you guys. Teams playing on a Thursday after coming off of a game that went to OT are 3-23 against the spread.
Whoa! Say that one again for us. Say that one again for us.
Teams that are playing on a Thursday when coming off of OT are 3-23 against the spread.
Wow!
And they're losing by a wide margin against the spread. So I think that I think this could be a 2-touchdown game for the Lions here. Yeah, so give me Lions minus 9.5.
Lions minus 9.5. Probably not an homer pick when you're considering the best team against the spread in the league. You know, I was a little surprised to hear that Montgomery news that Spenny had looked at there for us and being questionable. It does kind of make sense now that I think about some of these prop dashboards that Jamar Gibbs is shooting through the roof as the favorite to score a touchdown. But let's go over to our friend Keith. He's sporting a fresh haircut. He's got the hoodie on. He's got the football stadium behind him. Keith, my friend, I know you're ready to go. You've been talking to me all day about some of these spots. How you getting paid in this game?
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I got a Ford Field behind me here. I thought it looks pretty cool. So, yeah, it's awesome being on with you guys, and I see everybody in the chat too. So, yeah, I might be on an island on this one. So, I mean, for me, it's been talked about the Lions 0-7 in their last 7 on Thanksgiving. Can't be ignored there. And then, Caleb Williams is kind of taking care of the ball a little bit better. So, no INTs in the last 5 games. And, to have a couple of trends for you guys. I mean, it's a Thursday, so tomorrow, and Bears are 6-1 in their last 7 games on a Thursday. So it's a kind of a strange trend right there. Now, what's interesting is the Lions have given up the least amount of passing touchdowns in the whole NFL. So 7 touchdowns only given up by the Lions receiving wise. So that's why I kind of like the Bears receiving props. I know Spenny has a play right there. And I like how the Lions have actually ironically given up the 8th most receiving yards in the NFL. So it's strange, right? Not as many touchdowns and then compared to 8th most. So I thought that was a strange thing right there. So I moved on it last night and it's moved 1 point. So I moved on Bears plus 10.5 minus 122. Now it's minus 9.5. So I got that full point right there. But I lean towards the Bear receiving props. That's where I'm going to be landing maybe, a couple of those. I haven't made any official plays, but I'm pretty heavy on this half unit on Bears plus 10.5 minus 122.
Bears plus money. He's dogging. He's hot dogging to open the card up, Jeff. What say you? Is the dog live?
Not in my opinion. I think Williams is going to struggle. I think he's going to need the passer, the receiving props there. I think are going to be big for the Bears, given the fact that they're going to have to be throwing the ball because I think they're going to be down pretty significantly throughout the game. I'm looking at the first half over 24.5. I didn't like the hook. I saw it at 24 on a couple of books. So I'm probably, to Spenny's point with the Montgomery injury, I think if Montgomery does play, it's going to be just because it is against the Bears. But I don't think he's actually going to do a whole lot. So I do like Gibbs to get a touchdown. I did a parlay touchdown with Gibbs in it. I did take Gibbs over 100 plus all-purpose yards. Unfortunately, that was minus 120, so there wasn't a plus money play, but you could probably jump that up to over 125 yards and probably feel pretty good about that one. I think he's going to do quite a bit of work on the ground here. I don't know if ASB is going to get involved too much. Again, I think they're going to be in the lead, so I don't see them taking the risks going to the air at least the second half of the game, anyways. But I'm on the Bears, or I'm sorry. I'm on I got the Lions minus 9.5. I saw it drop down to minus 9. I tagged it again there. Then it jumped back up to 9.5. So yeah, I'm rolling the Lions in this one. I did do a 3-team teaser, and I don't want to give it all out right away, but the first leg in that teaser is the Lions minus 3.5. So I'll throw two more plays out there as we keep rolling here. But yeah, I'm pretty big on the Lions. I like Gibbs over the 100 plus all-purpose yards, and I'm like I said, I'm still hesitant to pull the trigger on the 24 for the first half, but I'll probably end up getting there as well.
All right, got some teaser, got some parlay action. I've got a couple of I've got a touchdown parlay that I'm pretty jacked up about here, and it's pricey. It's super pricey. It's going to be 40 to 1. I'll share that at the end of the stream. Which is going to incorporate one player from each of the 3 games to get after it. But look, I looked at this game back and forth. I thought as much as I think the Bears can maybe come up with a backdoor cover. The bottom line is you can't argue with that point differential. And the Detroit Lions are loaded with talent. I mean, between Laporta's, you go up and down the roster. It doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter if Montgomery plays or not because Gibbs is such a receiving pass threat there with the flat passes and everything else that goes into it. But I got to look at a couple of things here. Let's go back to the X's and O's. Let's go back to point differentials. The Detroit Lions have a plus 177 point differential. It's 70 points better than the next closest team to them. That's why they're 9-2 against the spread. That's why they're 9-2 against the spread in the first half. And as we drill down the microscope, I look at this Chicago Bears team, fewer than 9 points in the first half per game on average this season is that Chicago Bears. What does that lead me to? It leads me to a first half. I got a -5.5 now with the Detroit Lions. It just feels like here's a spot. I know it's a big number, and a lot of people get a little apprehensive. Doesn't sound like our panel's entirely apprehensive about that, but I'll lay the -5.5 in the first half. I'll play that second half and see what it is. Here's the thing with a lot of my action tonight. I look at first halves and I think, what are we doing as we're celebrating with our families for Thanksgiving? We get a little bit of time when the game's first starting, and let's get it after it. But then, we get into conversations, we get into prepping, we get into the other things that go into it. So I want to get in and out on a lot of these ones here, and that's how I'm going to start this card off. I think Detroit comes out, opens the floodgates on these guys, and at -5.5, I think it's a steal. It leads me to a player prop that I want to get involved with. A player prop I'm going to hammer with this game is Caleb Williams, and I'm going to take his over 228.5 passing yards, simply because I expect him to be down. That lack of point scoring overall in the game means that he's going to be chasing, and he's going to be running and gunning that second half of the game to push this thing over. So I'm going to need him to be around 125 in the first half to be alive for this thing. But I like Caleb Williams over 228.5 passing yards. And, I think kind of overall the strategy there being let's hit him hard, let's hit him early, and let's see where this thing takes us after that. I do believe they are live in this game. I do have a couple of teasers that I'll rapid fire that do include Detroit, bringing that number down to 3.5 like Jeff was talking about here. But the guy that nobody talked about, and I'm surprised, Spenny, I'm surprised in you. You're a ladder guy. I know you love to get them plus money spots. DJ Moore. Nobody talked about DJ Moore here. And when you're down and you got to chase, this dude has gotten 100% catch rate his last 2 games, 7 completions each game. We can play the ladder game with this guy. The focus for the offense has been increased completion percentage for Williams. He's gone 41.7 to 53.7 to 53.2, and he's been stopping. Why not look at this target? DJ Moore's over receptions, over 4.5 is -125. Don't be afraid to play that ladder game. You can catch his over 5.5, over 7.5 for this guy. Now, if you think about the 7s, and they're down significantly in this game, you catch over 7.5 at plus 1,100 for DJ Moore, Spenny. Is DJ Moore at least a factor or a variable in this game?
No, it's been a great price, and they're definitely trying to get him more involved in the offense with the new offensive coordinator, because he was getting pissed off at Williams and their offensive plan earlier in the season. So they're definitely just trying to get him involved as well. I looked at more, but I definitely want to take honestly, you could take any 3 of them, like Allen, Odunze, or Moore. I think all 3 of them could go over. To be honest, they've all been eaten the last couple of weeks with the new offensive coordinator.
I do have to take a time out, boys, and celebrate the dime that just got dropped into my account. We did catch the over 1.5 Vucevic 3-pointers. And Scotty Barnes picks up the double-double. Spenny, I know you were involved with this one, my friend. Big money. That was a plus 225 straight play. Big opportunity to get. Let's celebrate together.
The money is mine. I have the money. The money is mine. I got it for the first time. I got the money.
Yeah, Jeff, somebody had to mention it. We're ready to go. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. So do us a favor if you haven't done so yet. Please help us support the cause. Take a second, close the comments button, hit the thumbs up, pop that comment button back open, and we'll get back to business. Woo!
Cheers, Mike. Congrats.
Big hammer right there, boys. Big hammer. That might have to be. I might have to take over the Bomb's nickname. I don't know. Benny? No, you got to earn it, and you have done more than that. So,
yeah, I meant to say about Moore. I mean, yeah, because this guy was like a Pro Bowl player, right? And then he just was lost with the offensive coordinator. But like you guys mentioned, I have him on my fantasy team, so I know too. Is that his big uptick in targets, and he actually got a touchdown last week. I think at plus 330. I'm looking at it right now. It's plus 230 on FanDuel. So you never know. I like doing when the game goes live. If you have a live boost, then you could just throw it on then because you probably get a better price at that point too.
Yeah, if he doesn't score early for sure.
I think that's just it's numbers, right? We look at these numbers, we see these props, and maybe it's a strategic way to play it is over 4.5 or more catches it, and then you roll on from there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Oh, I think I'm on the island with the Bears. Anybody else? Any takers?
No, you're on the island. The island of
I got the
side for
point
me.
too,
No
guys.
side for
I'm
me.
at plus 10.5. So let's go.
Good number.
If they were playing the Packers, I would certainly consider the Bears, but
at home, yeah.
Unfortunately, they're playing the Lions. So shout out to you, Razor.
We'll see. No, this is a different Lions team. I agree with you. I think they have so many offensive weapons. I just was hoping the Bears can at least keep it competitive, division game. Williams has been actually taking care of the ball, like I was saying. So maybe a little history, at least cover the spread. That's what I'm hoping.
Well, there we go, fellas. That's what we're all about here. Everybody watching, appreciate you guys rocking with us. What it comes down to is trying to find some props, some things for you guys to consider, some angles, some trends. You're hearing from the gurus of the prop parlays and side game to help you get there. So we sprinkled a couple teasers, right? We got some teasers, no pun intended, some teasers, some touchdown props, more to come as we evolve through the show. But shout out to AJ, says, I'm seeing 6.5 first half Lions now. Would anyone still take that? Yeah, I would, but I thought, let me check here. Let's get some recent line numbers here.
The 6.5 scares me a little bit while you're looking into that. I mean, a touchdown is certainly. I'm probably going to jump on that as well. But that's what led me to the team total. Or I'm sorry, the total for the first half being over 24. I'll probably end up jumping on that. But what do you guys think? 6.5 first half Lions.
I'd still take it,
but yeah,
I get
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
like
it
your
is a lot, but I tend to think they cover. They've been really good in the first half, especially at home.
I'll be right back.
There's,
yeah.
there's Razor's thoughts there. Lions first half is always money at home.
There it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like the line they do a lot of their damage in the first half. So
Yep.
I mean, I really like that first half over, Jeff. I might have to bet that too now. I like.
Yeah,
it.
I got that.
I got
that
24 on.
Yeah, it was 24 on two books, then it was 24.5. I thought it was DraftKings. The other two books had it at 24.5, and then some of them had it at 24. Like I said, I didn't pull the trigger yet, but I probably will. As we
Yeah,
get.
I like that. That's a good look.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, I mean, the Bears players, like they basically the touchdown, anytime touchdown, it's like not live at all. So that's a telling sign right there. The bettors, like obviously these Lions here. Montgomery's actually still alive as a prop. I know you guys mentioned he's questionable, so we'll have to see the reports. They got to announce it, I believe, 90 minutes before game time.
Yeah, they'll wait till
They'll drop it. They'll drop it if he doesn't play. I think they're going to suit him up just as a distraction, anyways. Even like I said, I don't see him getting a lot of ball time out there, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I saw some crazy stat that was Gibbs and Montgomery each have 10 touchdowns each. So that was like the first combo running backs in a long time ago.
Yeah, they're having a great season again.
What are you guys' thoughts? First half versus second half. Do you think that is there feasibility that the Lions go up so much? And this kind of speaks to that 6.5 versus 5.5 question. Do they go up so much that all of a sudden the back door potentially is in play, and we see Detroit start sitting some of these guys? I mean, they're dominating everybody, but if they go up there and they kick the shit out of these guys right off the hop, is there any chance that the Bears can live through this thing? I mean, obviously Keith thinks that they're alive with the plus 10.5, but what do you guys think?
I think there's certainly a chance of it. The 10.5, I like that 10 with the hook on it there.
Right.
Like I said, I got it at 9.5 and 9, so I'm hoping they don't. But I certainly do see them going up early, and then potentially maybe the Bears catch it.
Yeah, the Bears defense is pretty solid. The Bears defense is pretty solid, so I wouldn't be surprised if they can somehow, keep it. And like I said, with their offensive coordinator, they've definitely, changed their scheme a little bit and got other guys involved and getting better completion percentage there for Williams, like Mike was saying there. So I think that Bears definitely could hang around. I think this could be a little bit tighter than maybe some think.
Yeah, and like you had mentioned with the Lions banged up secondary, that should open up some shots for Moore and Williams to do something there in the second half, probably.
All right. Well, we've got an NFC East battle. It was supposed to be a battle. I don't know about the battle situation at this point. Is Daniel Jones officially confirmed to be going to the Minnesota Vikings? Is that
The
what I saw?
Vikings, yeah.
Yeah, that was this morning. Yep.
Good luck, Minnesota. You got Sam Darnold, and you're flipping between Danny.
Guess he's just going to be the backup, but that's
The land of misfit quarterbacks over there now.
They
apparently in
just get
Minnesota.
they get the throwaways.
Well, you know that last game, there was a little scare though because Darnold, I think it was in the fourth quarter too, if I'm not mistaken, where he went down hard on that knee and he had to sit out a play, and then he came back in and he finished the game. But that certainly had to be a scare for Minnesota, thinking, man, if this guy does get hurt, they're going to be down.
Fucking Mullins backing up.
I heard it actually. There were like, oh yeah, I heard there were teams actually lining up to sign Jones because it's an incentive. It's basically you get him for $350K for the remaining of the year, and then if you don't re-sign him, you actually get some compensation pick at the end. So they want the pick. You know, that's really what they want.
If my quarterback got hurt, I'd rather have Jover throwing the ball out there for me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've been saying the Vikings should not. I mean, I told everybody to fucking ladder their team total unders. Like I don't know how they're good. I don't know how this team is fucking 9 wins or whatever the fuck they are. I don't get it.
The defense really.
He'll drop off. Sam Darnold is already showing that he's definitely taken a big decline since the start of the season. So
I don't know. I wouldn't sell Spenny short. This guy's a spry motherfucker. If you guys don't know, he's a fence climber extraordinaire, and that's important when you're climbing back in the pocket. You got to climb over all those guys. I might take Spenny if I lost Sam Darnold. I don't know.
I could probably throw a couple.
Maybe 5-10 yarders, couple checkdowns.
That's all you need.
That's it. I'm pulling up Bet Stamp to see if there's Bet Stamp's a great tool here that I've been piloting to try to find some line shopping ability in that first half play. Let's see what the bet.
Yeah, I use that too.
It does look like it's moved predominantly across the board to 6.5. There are a couple 5.5s out there. Pro line still hanging on to a 5.5. There you go. Point bet's got a 5.5. Fanatics is hanging the 5.5 as well. I know Sub likes a little Fanatics action.
Yeah, I get down on Fanatics, man. Great boosts. Yeah, it's a solid book.
Shout out to Thomas Maggio in the house. He says, shout out to all the cappers. Y'all still like OKC minus 4.5? Yeah. Yeah, that hasn't changed. Do I got to get that action in? Do I got to get more? How about this? Houston Rockets went down in overtime, and they have climbed back. Minute 7 left. They are up 4 points. Let's see.
I'll be right back.
You're talking about your Scotty double-double. I have his double-double, and I also have his triple-double. I need 3 assists for the triple-double.
Let's go. I talked about that today. I said, why not? I mean, he's gonna. I thought he was good for the rebounds and he was good for the points, which clearly was. The question was the
Scotty's
assist.
my boy. As soon as he came back, and I was like, if quickly or him are in the lineup and one of them's out, they both have a chance that they could double-double or triple-double at any time. Both of them have tons of production when they're in the lineup.
He also has that kind of trajectory. He came back. Was it November 21st? I think was his first game back.
Yeah.
His minutes have gone up. Across the board, he's just showing leadership potential that, frankly, Toronto needs, and they're banging up on this New Orleans team. Now, I'm on the under in that game. That was a big spot for anybody I know we're intertwining, and that's okay. We're live betting, but look, if you just played the Pacers, the under is on a 3-13 run. That's this game. And you think about it, the Pacers are such a high-scoring team that you want to play defense, you want to slow them down, you want to get in their lanes, and defense transfers. Defense carries over, and 3-13, about to go to 3-14 in favor. So shout out to Nasty Nate, shouting out the Voos It's 3.5. He took the alternate line here tonight. Good job, my guy. Let's go. Shout out to all you guys rocking with us. Vikes for Life in the house. There's a name I haven't seen before. I'm excited to see that. TransCanada is sweating this Flyers game. 2-1. I got it on TransCanada. It's over here. It's over on the right-hand side. But look, 5.5 or 6.5 in that Detroit Lions game. It doesn't make a difference. I've been pretty fortunate with some first half action in these games, and I feel good about this one. So we'll take it. We'll run with it. Let's look at this next game. Let's talk about this one here. Again, that NFC East battle we started talking about. Big line movement again, which I'll factor in. We always talk, if we can explain the line movement, then, some of the cash flow splits may or may not make sense. So on the surface, it looks like reverse line movement. You have 79% of the bets and 70% of the cash on the Cowboys. They went from -8.5 to -3.5. Obviously, in the last week, the quarterback situations have changed significantly. I think that reflects more in the total. It's gone from 45.5 down to 37.5. You have 89% of the bets and 84% of the cash on the over. We know the Cowboys are a staple when it comes to Thanksgiving Day games, and we know Jerry Jones loves that spotlight, but that hasn't necessarily translated to results for Jerry Jones. In fact, when you look at some of his Thursday performances, more importantly, across the board, let me see. Jerry Jones on Thanksgiving, boys. I don't want to influence anybody's bets here, but these are the numbers. Can't hide from the data. He's 2-11 against the spread on Thanksgiving going back to 2012, Jerry Jones teams. The only neutralizing factor to that happens to be that the Giants are terrible on Thursdays. The Giants on any day other than Sundays are 2-22. They've lost 9 straight Thursday games, and they brought this number down. To me, on the surface, that's a big question mark. When we look at some of these guys that are in and out of this game, the big deal here, Graham Gano is questionable for the Giants. Your kicker in a divisional game could very well be a factor. Defense does look in the secondary to be a challenge. Offensive linebacker Thibodeau, I said it fast. It sounds like I said it right. There's a lot of vowels. You guys know I struggle with those. The safety, Peanut, is out of this, or questionable as well. The linebacker, McFadden, is questionable. And it does look like we got an official ruling. Tommy DeVito is out. He's got some arm injuries going on. They're going to Drew Lock, the unknown, the unproven, the untested, in a Giants uniform, the blue and white. On the Cowboy side of things, Zach Martin, guard, he's out with an ankle injury. Idoga, the guard, is questionable as well. So offensive lineman Tyler Smith is questionable again as well. And so we've got some offensive line issues for the Cowboys. We've got some secondary issues in their own respect. Nick Vigil, linebacker, questionable with the foot. And then we look at, Ferguson's going to be out of this thing. Stevens is out of this thing in tight end positions. And a defensive end in Nealand is questionable. So we'll see what happens when the official game day roster comes down. But no question, one of the most exciting games to watch. Cowboys and Commanders. Now, the Commanders are in a petition. They are in rule of bringing back the Redskins name, but nonetheless, didn't help last week. They got busted up 34-26, and the Cowboys were a huge 10.5-point dog. The Giants. Tampa Bay has dominated the NFC East. You look at what they've done against the Eagles, you look against the board, somehow Baker Mayfield is stopping. The Giants lost 30-7 as a +6. First game with the quarterback change, but they got another quarterback change now. They're going to Drew Lock. The guy they brought in, believe they're paying Drew Lock $5 million to come out here and try to do some things. Of course, star-studded lineup in Neighbors, but they let Saquon Barkley go. They didn't want to pay him, and what a mistake that turned out to be. On the Cowboy side of things, Cooper Rush, him is the guy to go out there and figure it out. Boy, the question, I look at this thing here, overall, we talked about the stats. The problem I have is locker room chirping. Neighbors calls the entire Giants team off, says they're soft after Sunday's loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we obviously talked about the challenge, right? The transition for Daniel Dimes. Cowboys were skidding. They pick up that big win to kind of plug the gap. And Jerry Jones has given the vote of confidence to McCarthy. So we'd be stupid to get rid of McCarthy as we move into this next season here. And it doesn't sound like he is going anywhere. So you got a new setup with Drew Lock and Neighbors, obviously a guy that's been catching reception after reception after reception, double digits his last couple of weeks. Tossed the ball to Neighbors. CeeDee Lamb, a big price tag that the Cowboys have paid. Problems in the locker room. Ezekiel Elliott missed a road trip 2 weeks ago. Said he was just late to practices. He had a bad attitude. They were not happy with the guy they brought back in Zeke. And we obviously have some tight end issues as we roll into this game, Spenny. Thanksgiving, big battle, 4:30 p.m., Giants-Cowboys. How do you want to get paid?
Yeah, this one was a little tough market just when I was looking at it recently, just because they didn't really have a whole lot. They had they didn't have any of the tight ends that should be in, which would be, Schoonmaker, and I believe Span Ford will probably see some looks as well for the Cowboys, but didn't really have either of them listed. Brandon Cooks is coming back for the Cowboys, so he will be back this week. Playing on the game tomorrow. I'm not sure how much he's going to see coming back off that injury that he was on. I believe it was a knee injury, so I'm not sure how much Brandon Cooks is going to see, but he should be back out there as well for the Cowboys. Drew Lock's interesting. I honestly, if you've seen Drew play, he's going to air it out. He'll try to air it out at least. He'll try and get some more air yards out there for the Giants. He's probably going to make some mistakes. Probably going to throw a couple of interceptions, most likely. But I still like the ground game and attack that Tracy's been able to bring for the Giants here. And this is a spot where Cowboys are vulnerable. They've still been, being able to give up, a ton of yards on the ground there. They're bottom 10, I believe, in the league against the rush there. So it's a combo look I like with Tracy. So I'm going to take Tyron Tracy over 79.5 rush and receiving at -115. The 100+ combo at +215, and the touchdown at +170. I like Tracy here. I like the rookie. There's no reason why the Giants shouldn't be using the rookie down the stretch here. He's been phenomenal, running about almost 5 yards per carry to 4.7 yards per carry once he gets the ball in his hands. Just, let him do his thing. He can be involved either way, passing or running. And this is a divisional game where I don't think either team's blowing each other out. So it should be, back and forth, kind of stops here. I could see turnovers on both sides where could be a little bit of production, give him a couple extra more looks there. So I like Tracy here. I know Singletary's been back and whatever, but Singletary is not as good as Tracy. I think that they need to stick with the rookie here and utilize his run game. So the combo look for me for Tracy. That's the only thing I had. I was looking for some Cowboy stuff, but I would have looked towards probably the tight ends, but they didn't have anything listed really for it when I was looking. So,
well, that's important to note because we know our guy Spenny on the leaderboard across the street with our friends on the PSR side of things here. He's been dominating the road, and for him to pull back shows that there might be some live betting opportunity, but maybe not something to invest heavily in. And let's go to Jover, our friend J.O. What do you think, buddy? Are we looking at overs in this game?
Yeah, I think just Graham Cano over 1.5 field goals. My book doesn't offer the special bets till the day of, so I'll probably ladder field goals tomorrow, but I can't see any of those till tomorrow. But 37.5, I mean, it ain't going over, right? I don't know. I'm probably just going to take all 3 overs tomorrow, and I think it'll go 2-1. But
that's shocking news that you would take all 3 overs.
Yeah, but I don't know. This could be the super obvious under that sails over, but I don't know. I just give me the field goals indoors. Should be okay. If they can get past the 40-yard line, not down 40, I think they kick some field goals here.
Shout out to everybody that's in the chat there. I see True Teller rocking with us here. Thomas Maggio has a question out there. We're going to get to the questions, you guys, so make sure you do put them in the chat. We're going to go around the horn, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the questions you guys have from the panel here to see what their thoughts are on those questions. So keep them coming in. I'm kind of keeping a short list on those questions, in fact, and we'll see where we get. But do see them. Keep them coming. We will talk about those spots that you guys are asking. I see the rush over passing question from Thomas, and we'll see if anybody talks about that through their breakdowns, and then we will come back and circle back on those. So do take the time to put those questions in there, guys. That's what we're here for. We want to talk collectively as a group and then talk to you about how we want to get paid. And Sub Club is up and on deck. I don't know if he's got any action in this game, but God damn if this video is not taking things over by
Oh.
Yeah, man. I like Spenny and Joe's looks there. Part of me is ever so tempted on these Giants, but then I remind myself that they're the Giants. I don't know if I can, even a divisional game with that 3.5, and as bad as the Cowboys have looked at times, I don't know if I can do it. I'll be interested in Jeff Sweetheart if maybe Giants plus 9.5 are in there. We'll see here in a few minutes. But yeah, I'm mostly just off this game. Certainly nothing official.
Okay. All right, Keith, bring us in, my guy. He's casting the wide net. Reel that puppy in. How are we getting paid, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, it's I did a little digging on the trends on this one. I mean, obviously, like you said, Mike, I mean, this game was supposed to be a little bit more meaningful. Now they go to the third string quarterback. So interesting with what the Giants are going to do now. But I mean, Dallas has won against the Giants. They won 14 out of the last 15, right? So it's kind of crazy, right? 14-1 versus the Giants in the last 15. And what's interesting, I know that we were just talking about the over and, it could go under, based on just the betting standpoint, but the total has actually gone over in 12 of the last 15 Dallas has played at home versus the Giants. So 12 out of 15, it's gone over. So that's pretty good, but might be looking at that maybe more as a live bet. But Dallas has also given up the most rushing touchdowns with 19 in the entire NFL. So I'm actually looking at some Giants rushing touchdown props. I like either Tracy or Singletary to get in the end zone for the Giants. Think about it. I mean, you got the third string quarterback. So, they're probably not going to really ask him to do too much. Does he even know this playbook, right? $5 million. He probably knows it a little bit, right? So I would say, yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I think Spenny was just talking about the tight ends. The one thing the Giants actually do good is they do well against tight ends. They're actually best in the league against the tight ends. So, and Ferguson's out. I'm staying away. I mean, you got Shoemaker, who's probably going to be the starter there. But I don't, like Spenny was saying, I don't think his props are even open. So I would stay away from the tight ends. I think Giants do a good job there. And then, it comes back to Dallas. I mean, last week versus the Commanders, where did that defense come from? That was a very impressive performance by Dallas. Now, you could say the Commanders are fading, right? I mean, they've been just on the decline, but I like Dallas to get it done at, Cowboys minus 3.5 at home. And I got a minus 104. So it's a little bit of a tricky number there, but I think the Cowboys get it done. I think Giants have too many question marks. But again, I like the rushing props for the Giants in this one. So I'm going to be playing it a couple of different ways, but I think Dallas's defense. Now it's funny that in the news, I mean, just on one win that Jerry Jones is saying, oh, he's dangling the extension now for McCarthy. I mean, it's going to be, if they finish strong, maybe they'll get up for McCarthy so he gets that extension. I like what I saw from the defense last week from Dallas. So Cowboys minus 3.5 at home at minus 104.
There he is, taking the boys, a.k.a. the girls. Shout out to Ramon Scotty's shouting out the fact that, how about them Rockets, baby? They come up with that. Remember, the revenge spot. If you lose 3 times in a row to a team and you're a road favorite, You're cashing, and we cash. So let's give a little video here for that celebration as we roll.
Big dick player. Big dick baby.
Yep. Onward and upward, Jeff. Talk to us. I know these are two of your favorite teams, Cowboys and Giants. I got a feeling I know what you're going to say. Talk to us. Go ahead.
Well, let me first start out by saying this. Excellent timing on this game at 4:30. I'm going to an early Thanksgiving dinner, and 4:30 is going to be right around nap time. That's how excited I am for this game. So I got that going for me. Keith, or I'm sorry, Sub, you had mentioned it. My sweetheart Giants. I was going to bet. I've been betting the team total Giants under, and I think it lost maybe 3 times. What are we at, week 12? I saw it at 16.5. I didn't like that. If it was at 17, I probably would have taken it. Divisional game, Keith, I think you had mentioned it. They went over 12 or 13 times or whatever in their last several. I personally think this game's going to be under. I'm not going to play the under. I jumped on the Cowboys minus 3.5, which I didn't like the hook. They're home though. It is. It's their Thanksgiving game, so I got to roll with the Cowboys. I think so little of the Giants that there's no way in hell I could put my money on them. I do got to say, the first leg of my teaser was the Lions minus 3.5. The second leg of the teaser is the Cowboys plus 2.5, which I absolutely love. Again, being home, divisional game. I think it's going to be close. I don't think they're going to smoke them. I can't see either team smoking anybody at this point. But yeah, so I'm rolling with that. I did my touchdown prop that I had. I have 3 guys. Gibbs was my first one for the first game, and I got Neighbors in this one. I think the only touchdown's probably going to go to Neighbors. After Mike had mentioned there, after the shit talking he was doing to the team, I got to imagine he's going to come out there and try to step it up. So yeah, I'm on the Cowboys minus 3.5. I got him in the teaser at plus 2.5, and that's about it. I didn't put any props in on this one. I didn't see anything I liked. Just nothing out there.
Well, shout out to Bikes for Life. Appreciate the kind words, my friend. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber, and we appreciate you and spending the time hanging out with us. So thank you for those kind words. And let's go, guys. Let's talk about this one here.
Well, what was the question? What was the question there?
Well, we're not quite. I'll give you. Yeah, I'll give you.
I'm sorry, Mike. No, I'm sorry, Mike. I thought you went. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't have to hear me. That's fine.
No, you're all good. What do you want to get fucking put on the big screen?
Nobody wants to hear Mike anyway.
Shout out to you, Spenny. Thank you. Listen, first, we got a low total. We got soft teams. The first half under makes an absolute ton of sense. The Giants last game, they go to halftime with nothing. They got 0. Now, I thought what Jeff was going to say was Giants team total under, because I know he's been riding that thing all season like a pony. And on the flip side of things, I'm not so confident that Cooper Rush can figure it out either. So 19.5 first half under for me seems like a great bet. I did look at Neighbors. I do like Neighbors. I do like Neighbors in the touchdown role. But, the thing is, he's a long reception guy. So take a look for the longest reception for this guy. Not a bad spot to be involved with here. He's had some 24, some 27-yarders. Longest reception, 39 yards the last time he played these Dallas Cowboys. So probably going to be a sloppy game. Probably going to be a ton of penalties. It's right at that sleepy point, as Jeff talked about, after the turkey's done and everyone's laying out there. You're going to fall asleep because there's nothing happening in this first half of this game. But look, I'm not entirely sold on this Cowboys team. They have that big win, and it's the exhale. We just got it done. The Cowboys have lost 5 straight at home. They're not a team that gets it done whatsoever in Jerry World. Road dogs in bad situations here somehow found themselves to a 91-36 record. 7-3 in their last 10 is the New York Giants. Road dogs on a 5 or more game losing streak. This fits more to me in the exhale for the Cowboys after beating those Commanders. Road dogs on a 5-game or longer losing streak. 76-35, boys. 8-2 in its last 10. I think the Giants are live in this thing here. I'm taking the first half under 19.5. One of my circa picks are those Giants plus 3.5. So I'm looking at the first half under 19.5. I'm taking the plus 3.5 for the Giants. I bet you they win this goddamn game outright. Fuck these Dallas Cowboys. Let's get this
Mike.
Jesus.
Can't
I
believe
have
it.
to be on the opposite side. Listen.
Yeah, you didn't get the memo about the haircut. Now we're opposite sides. What are we doing? No, I'm just joking.
Listen, one of my favorite experiences when I went to an Eagles game, we were tailgating, we were having a good time. They rolled in with a Giants news van, New York Giants news van, and they graffitied the thing. They were. I mean, everything you can think. I'm not even going to get into what they were doing to this van, but don't be surprised if the Giants win this game outright. 3.5 points. We'll take the hook. Take a look at this money line. Take a look at the live money line here. Look at the unknown here is what's Drew Lock going to do? They paid the dude $5 million for a reason. And it wouldn't surprise me to see them find a way to come out there and get this cash. So, as we look at it, let's talk about this here. We had a couple questions. Let me see if I can find them here. Cooper Rush. Boys, freeform, our guy Thomas asked us a question about Cooper Rush. I'm trying to find the questions themselves. You guys are great with the comments. Lots of great comments coming in here. What do you think? Cooper Rush. Does Cooper Rush have to go out there and pass across the yard? To me, it feels like he does a little bit because I expect the Giants to win. I like CeeDee Lamb over 6.5 receptions. Hey, if you're a backup coming in trying to make a name for yourself, why not just feed the guy that's got the biggest mouth, and that is CeeDee Lamb. At 210 passing yards, Spenny, do you think Cooper Rush is live in a potential ladder? Do you think he can go 250, 275?
Honestly, yeah, I could see it, but I just honestly don't know. But with this game, like what's gonna happen, if there's gonna be points, if there's gonna be offense. The Giants aren't bad on defense. They got lit up last week, but they have been fairly solid. They can get some pressure on the quarterback, and if they're having offensive line problems, maybe Thibodeau and the Giants can get some pressure home on the Giants. Sorry, on the Cowboys there. So yeah, you know what? I'm not sure how much they obviously can't run the ball, so they have to throw. Like they have no run game. Daddle, can't run for shit. Their offensive line, if they're having those problems, they're not going to be able to run at all, regardless. So he's going to have to throw if that comes down to it.
Okay. What about you, Joe? What about you, Sub? You guys have any thoughts on Cooper Rush? Sorry. Is it the rush attack here? What do you think? Over passing yards? Yay, nay? Joe?
I don't know.
I think I'd sooner side with CeeDee. It's probably CeeDee receptions even, rather than yards, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I give a hand rush.
All right. How about you, Keith? Any thoughts on Cooper Rush? Is he a guy that's going to go out there and pass across the yard?
I see it a little bit. I see actually he's gaining like a little bit of chemistry, right, with Lamb in this offense. And I believe they showed a stat he was like actually 6-2 or something as a Cowboys starter. So, that was the team. I know they had a lot of injuries now, especially the starting quarterback, but he seems like he's not doing too much wrong, right? He's kind of just managing. And then, as I mentioned, the defense has stepped up for Dallas. So as long as he doesn't like turn the ball over, really just manage the game, I think Dallas can hopefully get this spread to cover -3.5.
Okay. Jeff, Cooper Rush over 213.5 passing yards. Yay or nay?
I would say he's probably going to get that. I don't know what the line is for that. It's probably juiced, I would imagine. I don't know. I personally wouldn't bet it, but I don't, depending on the number, that I don't think that's too bad. I think to Spenny's point, he is going to have to he's going to have to throw the ball if he wants to move it down the field. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad play, but again, I said it. I'll be sleeping during this game. I can't believe Mike hates the Cowboys so damn much that he took the Giants.
It is juice, Jeff. It is very
honestly, with Drew Lock, I could see it. Like he's gonna be able to move the ball through the air a bit better.
If that team total jumps to 17, I'm going under on it. Damn well I am. I just didn't like it because it was 16.5.
Well, David Wall says, "Don't bet the Cowboys." That's generally my philosophy as well.
Yeah.
If the Giants wants to win, they're gonna have to score. The defense
Well, they said the E word, right? So extension, right? So hopefully this will kind of get them a couple of wins and cash it for me. I'm not a big Cowboy fan at all, but hopefully for my bankroll.
Well,
I
Red
could just see it being
Mike,
one of
you're
those
crazy.
like field goal games. Like I could see it right around the number, right around 3,
Right.
something like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess that over under. I want that as a live bet, the over under actually.
Spenny, I was expecting Jover to talk about these field goal props here. I was a little let down.
I did.
He
I did
did.
talk
He
about
said he
it.
liked the over, but I don't think he had the line yet.
I can't. I don't have the line till tomorrow morning.
Does anyone
Yeah, they don't have it out yet.
I think that kicker is questionable. You like Joe?
Rap
Or you
Kit
know, check.
or all the legal books, like U.S. books, they have the lines out. But I'll have my lines tomorrow morning. What they are.
All right,
Because
so
then
maybe
plus they do the ladder. I can go 4+, 5+, whatever. That's what I'll probably do with this game.
so maybe the community tab will have some Jover overs. J-O?
Yeah.
All right. True Teller dropping some knowledge on us here says the Cowboys are 33, 22, and 1 on Thanksgiving. Yeah, but we talked about this at the onset. Jerry Jones in Thanksgiving games doesn't cover the spread. The problem is, going back to it again, the Giants have lost 9 straight Thursday games. They're 2-22 when they play any day but Sunday. I think the Drew Lock variable is alive in this game. I'm banking on Drew Lock. How about that? Who else has said that besides the Giants and me? I'm banking on Drew Lock to figure this thing out.
I can see it.
Yeah, I don't hate it, honestly.
Dallas
No, no, no.
sucks too. Like
200 yards is plus money if you want to bet it, Mike. If you like it now compared to later, yeah.
defensive touchdown
Plus money
too.
for a reason.
It could be wild.
Marty's got it.
I mean, the 5 million, like you said, Mike. I mean, that's just they paid that for this moment, right? Because they probably knew that eventually, with the Jones, with the contract, they didn't want to play him with that clause, right, of the 25 million or something like that. So they just released Jones. Now DeVito's hurt, so this is the 5 million at use.
You gotta feel like an ultimate piece of shit when they just said, you know what, we're not even gonna put you on the bench. We're just gonna let you go.
JW, I like that play. I'm actually, now that you mention that, that's a good call. I'm gonna look for both teams to throw an interception because that's probably gonna happen.
If I would bet the side, I would lean Mike's way. How can you lay 4 points with Dallas or 3.5 points with Dallas?
Yeah,
that's my thoughts.
Because the Giants are going to need more than 3.5 points.
I don't know.
I'm the same way. I would go with the Giants. I would lean the Giants host to take a side.
Shout out to Keith gifting a sports money membership. Craig Wilkinson gets the recipient of that. Well, cheers it.
Yeah.
There you go. Congrats, Craig.
The public already wants to bet Dallas. They see Dallas finally get a win against Washington that's been playing really well. Oh, let's bet Dallas. Dallas is of course they're gonna smack the Giants. Of course they're gonna beat the Giants down, right? Of course they are, especially at home too on Thanksgiving. No, I think this is a field goal game, if anything.
That's what I'm saying, Spenny. I'm with you, my guy.
Why we love gambling, exactly.
Let's go. Gifted 5 sports money memberships. Keith gifts that membership.
Oh.
Craig Wilkinson catches it. Gift out 5 sports money memberships. Team Cat Whisperer, Ryan Mueller, my guy. Hernan, Trap God, R. Lopez, all recipients of that as well. Appreciate all you guys. Hey, if you haven't done so yet, take a second. Hit that thumbs up button. Help us continue to grow the brand. Listen, I said this before. I say it all the time on pre-gaming. The algorithm in YouTube works like this. They recognize you, your demographic. When you hit the thumbs up, they promote it to more people just like you and us. And that means that more sharp cappers come in to help give their best bets. We can all make more money by taking just 1 second. Close the comments, hit the thumbs up, open them comments back up, and we'll get going again in this last game.
Joe, I gotta say, I was talking to the boys backstage. Man, up at that 3 a.m. stream for the UFC. I was cocktailing for that one. I made a road cocktail. I fucking Ashley had to drive, and I rocked till about 2 or 3 a.m. So I think I went for about 24 hours straight. The only
Jesus.
time I didn't have a cocktail in my hand was at dinner. I actually drank a water break, but the concert was kick ass. It was a great time.
Yes, I saw you had a couple of stops. You saw that classic house, right, Jeff? What was that scenic house that you saw?
Oh, the Christmas Story house. Yeah, my
Oh
buddy,
yeah,
my buddy that I stayed with was like, "I'll take you around Cleveland, do some."
oh that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We didn't go in. They do tours and shit there, but we didn't go in.
Yeah.
We just
Where the
drove
fuck
by.
did you guys see that? Am I not following Jeff?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Is that on his old OnlyFans
You
account?
know, I mean, free trial, Mike. Exactly. That's it.
Jeff, question from RVD420. You have to weigh in on this one. You've been cashing on it. How about Giants team total under?
I don't like it because it's at 16.5 with the hook. If it goes to 17, I'm probably going to take that under.
Maybe a live bet spot. Maybe they score early and you see that team total drop. What do you think about that strategy?
I don't do a lot of live betting on the team totals, but that's not a bad strategy.
Right.
I think this game fits though for like the live bet with hopefully the over, right? I mean, well, we got to see what's going to happen here. Yeah, I mean, you guys were talking about the Cooper Rush passing yards. I mean, that's really juiced actually. It's minus 175 on DraftKings for 200 yards for Rush passing.
It was Tremont, Joe. Now that you say that,
That tells me that they're going to be down. And they're going to
Oh, okay.
come back.
And then Locke, your boy, Mike, Locke is plus money 200.
Jeff just sent me the picture. I saw the house.
Yeah.
All right, let's go, boys. Last game of the NFL card. Then we'll talk about some other spots. We'll talk about the parlays, the teasers, the props, everything we want to get into here. We've got the Dolphins and the Packers, probably the best game of the night. When you think about it here, we talked about how suspect that lineup's going to be for, this Giants and Dallas game. We talked about this big spot there where the expected blowouts, but holy shit, Tua coming back and they became a passing team. One game out of 500 out of these Miami Dolphins. We have a line that opened up at 3. It's moved to 3.5. And we're almost decidedly split. We have 56% of the bets on the Packers. We have 55% of the cash on the Packers. It's enough to shake the books. They moved it a half a point just to the hook. Just to the hook. The totals dropped a point. It's reverse line movement. We have 77% of the bets on the over, 77% of the cash, yet they've taken it down a point to 47.5. Lambeau Field. Looks like it's going to be a little windy, projected to see about 12 to 15 mile an hour winds. No precipitation in the forecast, but it's going to be cold. It's a Lambeau game. It's 27 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what, Spenny? Is that 7 degrees Celsius? I'm not.
Probably even colder than that, something like that. Yeah.
That's cool. That's gonna be
Sounds
cold.
cold, man. Let's go. We got this Green Bay Packers team. Lucky. They beat up San Francisco. Now, listen, San Francisco is in turmoil in their own. They were lucky to get that win against the Chicago Bears, but they're back-to-back home games here. It's going to be their third home game in 4. The Miami Dolphins, back-to-back home games. Tua comes back, and they're a passing team. They torched the the New England Patriots. They torched the Vegas Raiders. What are we going to see here? Do we have an opportunity where Miami Dolphins creep themselves back into this playoff perspective here with Tua Tagovailoa rocking this thing? Or does Jordan Love carry the boys into victory, Spenny? We'll pop off with you again, my friend. Talk to us. What do you think about this first game here? You know what I neglected, Spenny? I'm sorry to put you on ice here, but injury-wise, let me take a peek at what we've got going on here. It seems like it's pretty clean across the board. Jair Alexander, the cornerback for the Packers, is out. That's probably the biggest one. Romeo out again for the Packers. A couple of secondary guys that are challenged here, but it does look like it's a full squad for the Miami Dolphins, Benny.
Yeah, Jair Alexander being out, and Romeo Dobbs being out actually is probably two of the reasons why I'm taking props that I am taking right now. I'm taking Jaden Reed over 48.5 receiving yards minus 110, the 60 plus receiving yards at plus 145, and taking his touchdown as well at plus 140. Dobbs is out. It's a good spot here for Reed. Last time that Dobbs was out earlier in the year, I believe he had about 8 targets for 6 catches, about 78 yards against obviously a tougher secondary, but I still do think that, or a weaker secondary, sorry, but I think that Reed should step up here, especially if it's a colder game, and Miami's actually pretty stout against the run as well, so I'm not sure how much Jacobs will be able to do in the run game as much as he has been in the previous weeks. So utilize the short passing game. They can also use Reed as kind of, if you want to take his combo, you can take him as rushing and receiving because he can do some end rounds as well, kind of plays like that. He is, can take some deep shots as well. So I like Jaden Reed. I think they use him quite a bit this week with Dobbs out. I'm not a huge fan of Christian Watson. I think he has a lot of drops. I think that I'm just not a huge fan of him. They obviously still like to use him, but I like Reed better. He's still the leading receiver on this team. So I like Reed here this week, especially with Dobbs out. And then the other side, Tyreek's coming back. He's healthy. He's back. Jair Alexander's out. So I'm jumping on Tyreek Hill over 63.5 receiving yards at minus 120. It just seems like a really low number for him, considering what he can do. He could get that on one catch, to be honest. So anytime that Tyreek gets the ball in his hand, you would always know that he's dangerous. So I'm taking Tyreek over 63.5 at minus 120. Taking the 80 plus at plus 165 and his touchdown at plus 160 as well. Just a couple of spots that I like there. I'm not just on a side or anything. If I were to be on a side, I probably would be on Green Bay. I think they're just the better team, but it's because it's a sneaky game. I think Miami could pull out a win too. It should be a good back and forth game here. I think you're muted, Jeff.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, Miami has been stepping it up, and they look pretty solid last week. I guess I'll jump in there since Mike's away at this point. I'm actually I think Jacobs is going to do it this week. I got him over in the all-purpose yards at plus 110. So I'm rolling with that. I think is as good as Miami looked. I think the Packers are coming together as well. I'm on the Packers first half minus 2.5, and then I snagged them at -3 for the game total. And the last leg of my 3-leg teaser, so I had the Lions -3.5, the Cowboys plus 2.5. I snagged the Packers plus 3. I know a lot of times they say, if you're teasing it to the plus money, go the other way. I don't think that's necessarily the case in this one. I'm rolling the Packers pretty good in this one, and I think it's going to be an exciting game. The touchdown prop that I had was Gibbs in the first game, Neighbors in the second game, and I got Jacobs in this one. I did the DraftKings boost and moved it to plus 1030. So $10 will win you 103.
All right. Big bombers there here. Jover, J.O., what do you think here, my friend?
So there might be some flurries in the late evening of this game, but it's going to be cold, right? Everybody thinks Florida teams coming in the cold. I don't know. I'm going to go both teams to score not over 19.5 points. So both teams to score 20 points at just a even minus 110. I think they both can get 20, and then you're on your own after that. But yeah, it's going to be cold. It's going to feel like 5 degrees, 0 degrees. But the wind gusts, like you said, Mike, looks like I was looking the weather up 25 miles an hour, but I don't know. Tua slings that ball pretty fast, so I think It shouldn't affect too much, maybe field goals, but just give me both teams to score 20 each.
Well, we will move on to the man whose video is taking the nation by storm. So before we get on,
every time.
are you taking down White Russians right now? What's going on over there?
No, I've been sipping on some makers here.
All right.
Taking it easy tonight. It's gonna be a big day tomorrow, so I gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as this one goes, I'm not real bullish, but I think the Packers get it done. I think the NFC North has a day tomorrow, and that the Dolphins struggle coming up into the cold. I kind of like a 7-point teaser here on the 3 games. Detroit -2.5, Giants +10.5, and Packers +3.5 gets you a +120. I kind of like that.
Okay. All right. Some teaser action from the Sub Club. His name is Sub. His name is Keith. What do you think, Keith? Talk to us here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think this is going to be probably the most action-packed game, but my play is actually going to go a little against that. So I'll talk about it. I mean, I did a little digging here with Miami and their defense. I think that, they've given up the 5th fewest receiving touchdowns in the league. And it's ironically, they also given up the 5th fewest receiving yards. So to receivers also. So that's something else that I looked at. I know that the Packers have some injuries at the wide receiver position. So I was going to stay away from the Packers props. I know that Spenny's got to play there, but I'm going to stay away from the wide receivers for the Packers in this one. Both teams are middle of the pack as far as giving up rushing touchdowns and rushing receiving yards. So, I think that I didn't have an angle there. You mentioned about the cold weather. I think that's going to play a big factor. So for me in this one, the total is going under 9 out of the last 12 games Green Bay's played against Miami. So 9 out of 12, a little history right there. I like the under in this one. I think there's going to be touchdowns, but I think under 47.5 -108 with the cold weather, the frigid weather kind of makes a little sense right there. And I'll give you a touchdown prop that I like. And I'm pulling it up right here. Yeah. Rasheem Morse. I think a Mozart. I'm sorry, Mozart. I like Mozart to get in the end zone actually at +350. So he's like the backup running back for the Dolphins. I mean, this guy, he came back from injuries, not the same guy, but yeah, at the same time, I think he can get a goal line carry. So Mozart +350. I like him to get in the end zone in this cold weather.
Little Mostert touchdown action, Jeff. I know you.
Yeah. It's funny talking about the cold weather. I think Tua's 0-4 when playing below like 40 degrees or something ridiculous like that. So I had already jumped in while you were gone, so I had already given my thoughts on this one. But to your point, Keith, Miami struggles in the cold, and it is going to be cold. It's going to be cold.
Yeah, I think it's cold, but I think the lack of precipitation, minimal wind conditions here. What do we know about Miami? Well, obviously they struggle with Skylar Thompson. We know they struggle with anybody else but Tua, and they're picking up dubs. And listen, to me, Tua in the cold, yeah, he's an Alabama quarterback. He plays in Miami, but who does he play in his division? New England, the Jets, and the Bills. He's built for cold weather, regardless of his fragile hip. And it doesn't surprise me that we see points in this game. So I like the over 47.5. I'm taking points in this game. It's the Sunday night extravaganza. We're probably not going to see points in that Giants game. Maybe we see points in that Detroit game, but this is going to be the barn burner here. I do like an opportunity. No question, A-Chain continues to dominate. He can rush it in. He can pass it in. He can catch balls. It don't make a difference, but I don't think, though. I see Joe Dub's comments here. Shout out to Joe Dub. He says the temperature is 23 degrees or colder. Miami is 3-7 all time. Miami's won only once since 1992. I don't know that they win this game, But I know that the Green Bay Packers are soft. They're softer than razor soft picks. And listen, Jordan Love finding steam. He's catching rhythm. But I like points. I'm going to take the over 47.5. I'll tell you what. I think I'm going to take the first half as well in this game here. I'm looking at points, and more points. And I think that's the way we're going to get paid in this game here. It's just a matter of, let's see it. Let's go. The Dolphins. Listen, maybe the Dolphins are the first to 24. There's some prop bets for you guys to look at. Packers are 17 first half points average. The Dolphins can come out on top of that thing. 3 touchdowns for Tua early. Tyreek Hill has to be a guy you look at here. He's done nothing in the last couple of weeks here, and I think he's due to pop. But at the same time, I like points. So I'm going to take the over 47.5. As long as we don't have strong winds and snow, I think it's good for Tua to go. So Hawk Tua says truth teller. That's it, boys. We gone through the 3-game card. Let's open it up. Let's talk about this opportunity now. We'll go around the horn real quick. Any props, any parlays, any teasers we haven't talked about here? Let's bring them into play, and we'll start with MMA Jeff this time here. Jeff, any teasers, any parlays, any props? I know you had some teasers. Read them off to us.
Yeah, I was reading Truth Teller's comments. Truth Teller, they got 17 that one game, and the total was 17.5. The other game, their total was set at 20.5, and then the other one was 24. So the unders were cashing in those. But the teaser I have is the 3-teamer: Lions -3.5, Cowboys +2.5, and the Packers +3. The touchdown prop I have at +1030 with the boost at DraftKings is Gibbs, Neighbors, and Jacobs. I thought we were going to roll with the 4th game, but did you want to talk about Friday's game?
We're going to do a live stream on Friday, so
okay, I wasn't sure.
Can,
those are Again, I don't have any other props that I've talked about. I guess you want to hear them again. I got Gibbs over 100 plus all-purpose yards at -120, and I got Jacobs over 100 plus all-purpose yards at +110. So that's what I'm rolling with.
Okay, Keith, my friend. Anything you haven't talked about? Anything you want to talk about here? The floor is yours. Any last-minute spots you want to let everybody get involved with?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of covered it. I think that the Bears, or at least, will be able to, pass the ball. I mean, the Lions defense, I mean, I really thought the Colts were going to be live to score points. I thought they were going to be a live dog. So couldn't have been more wrong about that one. I mean, Lions defense has really showed up too. So I think the Bears, hopefully, like I said, I mean, Caleb Williams can just manage it. He's got no interceptions the last 5 games. So I'll go with the DJ Moore. I think that, his receiving yards make sense. Right now I'm looking at it. It's a pretty steep price though. I do like, I'll take a shot with this 60 plus receiving yards for DJ Moore. You got +110 right now on DraftKings, something like that. Like you mentioned the targets before. So I like Moore there in that spot. And I mentioned just before, I like the Moser touchdown in the Dolphins game. And then with the Dallas game, we talked about it with Rush and his attempts. I actually probably look at his pass attempts, maybe. So, maybe, we're always kind of betting on the fly here too. But yeah, I put a bunch of plays out there. So let's keep cashing.
Let's go. Let's make it happen. I do want to come to Sub Club, but I'm going to go to Jover before we do that, because I do want to hear any spots Jover's involved with that we haven't had a chance to talk about yet. Jover, what do you think?
Nothing,
J.O.
but Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Wisconsin Badgers, Minnesota Golden Gophers, right? The Axe is staying in Wisconsin. Book it, boys. Money line or the -1.5. Sorry. That's all I got. Buck PJ Fleck. Roll the boat. Get out of here. All right, I'm done.
All right, Spenny Penny Bombs. Any last minute spots? Anything you haven't had a chance to talk about? Anything you want to let the people know before we shut her down?
Well, just for you guys, we in the background while Mike was talking here, I went and cooked up a couple of touchdown parlays
Let's go. That's
for
what we
these
want to
3
hear.
games
Got the pen and paper.
with the guys I already liked. So the first one is going to be Laporta, Tracy, and Tyreek Hill, and that one's going to be at plus 1681, so almost 17-1. And then we're going to do another one, and that one's going to be Odunze. I added in CD Lamb, and then I'm going to take Jaden Reed, and so that one's plus 2250.
Oh,
Who was
man.
the last one? Sorry.
Last one was Odunze, CD Lamb, and Jaden Reed at plus 2250.
Like
you know, you better write it down when the crew, the panel, is writing it down. Shout out to Damon Waring in the house. Thank you, Spenny, for your contributions tonight. I'll give you guys a spot that I'm involved with here. I already told you about the ladder that I'm on board with here. I'm going to go with this one here. It's a plus 39.30. So it's, we'll call it 39-1. We'll round this one down. I'm going Jalen Williams touchdown. I'm going Kraft touchdown. And I'm going Turbin touchdown. 39-1. That completes the board. 39-1 with these 3 fellers. I do like Caleb under 20.5 pass completions. I do like DeAndre Swift over 2.5 pass catches. And, I guess at the end, I guess I'll go Kraft again over 3.5 pass receptions as well. Williams, Kraft, and Turbin plus 3,900. That's 39-1 touchdown parlay. I got Caleb Williams under 20.5 pass completions. I'll go DeAndre Swift over 2.5 completions and catches rather, and give me Kraft over 3.5 pass receptions. I deliberately waited till the end because I know our guys got some Euro action to give us here. Get to the footy. He likes the round ball, not the oval ball. I'm gonna put you on the big screen.
Yeah, we'll race through them quick. I got a 3-pack for the early games going off in Europa here. Kickoff at 12:45 Eastern time. So come time for that Lions game, I'm going to be double fisting a cell phone and a tablet while I sweat these out. Yeah, I got a favorite on the spread. I got a dog on the spread, and I got a total for you. So start with the favorite here. Lazio taking on this Lazio Italian side, taking on this Bulgarian side. Ludogorets Rezgrad. Lazio's been fantastic. So you can probably guess where I'm going. They are the favorites here. I do like them on the -1.5. Think they get it done by margin. In this competition, 4 wins from 4 games. They've got a +9 score differential. They've won 3 of those 4 games by margin. The only one they didn't was Porta, and Porta at that time was cooking. So it was a good win, even though they didn't get it by margin. Ludogorets, they've been the class of Bulgaria. They win that domestic league nearly every year. But they just haven't really stood up in this competition. They've got 1 draw in their 4 games so far, lost the other 3. Lazio hasn't failed to score 2, and coming off 7 straight wins, 12 wins in the last 13 games. I mean, they are cooking. Healthy team. They get this is kind of a wrinkle too that I kind of like, but they get an important striker back, Dutchman, Naslin. He was suspended from this tournament for 3 games. In their first game, he threw a really nasty elbow, busted this guy up after the play was dead. So him returning, I think, another reason to be bullish. He's got fresh legs. It's not like he's out with an injury. And Marco Baroni, he's just a great coach. He's saying all the right things, talking about how, this team's not to be overlooked and we need to collect all 3 points. He wants to get out ahead in this league stage here. So Lazio -1.5. And the dog pick here, we got this is kind of a bum fight here. You might have not ever heard of this team. Rigas Futbola Scola. I'm just going to refer to them as RFS. They're RFS on a lot of books anyway. But Rigas Futbola Scola taking on PAOK Thessalonica FC. It's a Greek side. I'm just going to call them PAOK. PAOK's a slightly better rated team for sure. They're the road side here. And they are favorite, but they're winless in this competition with just one draw. And if you look at this RFS side, they've actually done pretty well. They are winless as well, but they've got 2 draws and 2 losses. Their losses were close, and they drew even with Galatasaray, who we're going to talk about in a minute, and Anderlecht, 2 pretty good sides. And one of the reasons that I'm really bullish on RFS here, this team, they're from Latvia, right? So they're way up on the Baltic. Colder than shit up there. They've got this really tightly packed stadium. Crowd really close, so it's a nice home field advantage. And since they concluded their season 2 weeks ago, this is all that they've been looking forward to. They're well rested, and they've just been preparing for this game and this game alone. While this Greek side, they've got just, they're in the mix to win their Greek domestic league. They've got 4 games in the next 2 weeks. So they've got a bunch of distractions. They're traveling way, way north. They're used to playing in an open field stadium where it's still, 65, 70 degrees down there in Greece on the Mediterranean. And they go way, way up north to play in this frosty wilderness against a team that this is all that they have to concentrate on is this game here. It's a lot of time they've had to prepare, but not enough time, I think, for rust. So give me the dog here plus a half a goal. RFS plus a half a goal plus 105. I think it's a sneaky shot there. And lastly, a total. This one's probably the game to watch during this hour. AZ Alkmaar versus Galatasaray. Just straight over. This one opened at a juiced over 2.5. It's up to a 3 now. Over 3 at minus 110. AZ Alkmaar, they've got goals in them. They've seen 3 or more goals in 6 of their last 7 games. Throughout their 4 games in this tournament, they've averaged 3 goals a game, about 500 to the number. But Gal is the real kicker here. Galatasaray, this team is all attack, no breaks, and they leave the back door wide open. They've seen their matches go 3 or more goals in 13 of their last 15. Throughout this tournament, it's been even higher. They've been averaging 5 goals per match, 4-0 to the number in this tournament. And, this AZ Alkmaar squad, their last match was also against the Turkish side in Fenerbahce. They're far more defensive, and that team still, that match still saw 5 goals. So I think this is a game that flies over. They're both up there in the mix, kind of atop the table. I think they'll both go for it here, and Galatasaray only plays one way. So over there. And that'll conclude Sub Club edition for Sub Club Thanksgiving edition.
All right, that is. Let me get back into the game plan here. That is, you guys are asking. That's Europa Conference play. The first games pop off at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. So go back, listen to Sub Club. Write these plays down. I tell you guys all the time, get your goddamn pen and paper out. This is what you do it for. You write these plays down, you go back, you listen, you find out how to play it. And I'll tell you what, boys, you did a great job tonight. Tremendous effort. All you guys, all 6 of you here on panel, Sub Club, MMA Jeff, Keith, each every stride. We got Joe over J.O. And, of course, my guy known for dropping bombs, penny bombs. I love you guys, man. Thank you for coming in here, hanging out, spending time. You guys had to do a ton of prep a day before Thanksgiving, and there's a ton of things happening. So that means an absolute lot to me. I hope you guys in the chat do appreciate that. I know everyone's got things going on all over the place, but the boys took the time to give you 3 straight games, all props, all sides, all totals, parlays, teasers. We checked all the boxes tonight. I want to shout out Subhuman gifting a sports money membership. Razor Sharp gifted out a sports money membership. Keith, each every stride gifted out a sports money ship. And you know what I did? I gave out 5 as well. Thank you guys all for hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. you, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your friends and family. We wanted to give you this early so you can get those plays in and enjoy that time with your families. Shout out to all the boys on screen. You guys did, I can't say it again. You did a terrific job. I guess I did say it again. You did a terrific job tonight. Thank you, guys. Hit that thumbs up. We'll see you guys real soon. Make sure you check out Ramon Scott, 9 a.m. The morning steam is coming at you tomorrow morning. And on behalf of all of Sports Money, thank you, guys. We'll see you soon. Appreciate everybody rocking with us.